Test, audio test. Hello, my name is Ryan Gunn. This is for the SDI class Gunsmithing Tools Lab, Week 4, Assignment 1. For this assignment, we'll be field stripping the Glock 19X MOS modular optic system chambered in 9mm NATO parabellum. To begin this assignment, we'll go ahead and show you that our workstation is clear, followed by clearing the weapon. Keep your finger off the trigger, point in a safe direction. Go ahead and remove the magazine feed source. Show you that it's inert blue. And then we'll go ahead and lock the slide back. Physically and visually inspect the chamber and barrel. Weapon is clear. Our work area is clear. Go ahead and release the slide forward. Unlock the weapon by pressing the trigger. Go ahead and remove any attachments. Either I would have to remove the suppressor or I'll have to remove the barrel nut. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and release the tactical light as well. I am not touching the Trijicon arm or optic. That is staying on. Go ahead and remove by pressing down on the slide lock springs. Press the slide back, forward, removes the frame assembly from the slide assembly. We'll go ahead and remove the recoil spring assembly, the barrel. Using a punch, we'll go ahead and depress on the firing pin sleeve, pressing the slide cover plate back and off, removing the firing pin, extractor, depressor, plunger, and plunger spring, followed by the extractor and the firing pin safety. Slide assembly fully disassembled, past its field strip. Finally, what we'll do is we'll take a punch, we'll remove the trigger pin, we'll remove the trigger housing pin, utilizing a punch and pliers because there's a lot of oil. Finally, we'll remove the locking block, and then the whole trigger assembly should come out as soon as you remove the ambidextrous magazine release bar. There you go. Continue to break down. You got your trigger bar. Go ahead and turn it a little bit sideways. Remove it from the trigger spring. Using a pin, go ahead and removing the connector. Connector removed. Using another punch, I'm going to go ahead and press on the trigger spring, getting this little T-bar to come out of the bottom and unlock through the top. Trigger spring, disassembled. Trigger hook, spacer, bar, and spring. That is complete breakdown of the frame assembly. Go ahead and put the trigger spring back together. You can kind of see that it is at an angle. That angle is going to be facing up, flush to the bottom, hook to the inside. Go ahead and put it back into the trigger housing through the top T. Sorry, hands are a little greasy. Through the top T. Into the bottom T where it locks. Trigger bar and trigger will go on after the connector is placed back on. Push the connector back into its slot. You press all the way. Then the trigger bar and trigger fit into the firing pin spring into its little groove. Back into the frame assembly. Click. Nice. I like that. Ambidextrous magazine release back in, followed by the locking block. Now, put the trigger pin back in is always the most fun because sometimes this trigger needs to sit all the way down, so I press it and it locked in place, but it doesn't stay there until I lock the trigger. Now, keeping all this kind of in, I have safety glasses on because I'm using a rubber mallet. Sometimes you need to manipulate the trigger to get that pin back in. Pin is going to be flush, even on both sides, good to go. Now the trigger housing pin is a lot easier to put in. Push that in a little bit too much. Let me go ahead and make sure it's flush and even to both sides. There we go. All right. That's your receiver trigger housing assembly and everything's back together. Go ahead and we'll take our barrel, insert it into the slide, and make sure that the recoil spring assembly is back in. And then we'll take the extractor, push the extractor back in, and then the firing pin safety, you'll see this little notch that goes on the inside towards the firing pin. Put your finger on the extractor as you push this in. When you push it in, it will make the extractor lock back in. Go ahead and insert back the firing pin and the extractor plunger assembly, and plunger spring, and then finally your slide plate. Go ahead and find a punch that's big enough so you don't damage the spacer, because you're going to press this in. Use your safety glasses, as this firing pin and extractor plunger will pop back out if you slip. You see here, click. Cool. Awesome. Slide assembly and trigger frame assembly back together. Make sure that this is on its last lever, last positioning. Oops. Make sure that's a smooth connection all the way through. All right. Attachment back on. Barrel nut on. I got close to 30 seconds left. Again, this is for the Gunsmithing Tools Lab. Wait for assignment 1. Snap cap rounds. Click. Trigger reset. Click. Thank you very much.